Hi. I'm Saul Godinez, and I hail from Suffolk, Virginia. I am the father of a child with a disability. And before I begin, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to be here with us today and help us understand the legislative process. Your actions are indicative of the level of concern you hold for your constituents. And as my son would say, shame on all of you all that chose not to be here today and take the opportunity to learn so much today. You're to be commended for getting through the budget crisis these last couple of months. However, I am compelled to highlight to you an area of great concern that did not receive its due diligence during the legislative hearing. This grave concern will cost you and me $23 million plus another $8 million. What I'm talking about is the rebuild of the Southeastern Virginia Training Center in Chesapeake, Virginia. A few months ago, my partner colleagues and I visited this place. It was an eye-opening experience, to say the least. Now, when we visited the center, there were 152 persons being served. The staff made mention of the potential closing of the center that was then followed by a redirection to downsize the center instead. But let's get back to the point about 23 plus $8 million. And what's the significance? Well, that's because $23 million is what it will cost to rebuild a brand new 75-bed capacity center. Well, what about the other 77 persons? Well, supposedly they will be served by the building of 18 new community homes at a total cost of $8.4 million that is also funded by the state. A simple comparison of the two numbers should open our eyes to the gross disproportion of costs allocated. Please tell me why it would make sense to the legislature to pay almost 3 times the amount to serve fewer persons with disabilities. I tried to find the answer, and my understanding through open source information is that DBHDS, the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services, said that communities lack enough resources to house residents safely. Further, and I quote, that our concern that enough high-level community supports do not currently exist in the Tidewater area to safely transition all the SEVTC individuals into community homes, the 2009 General Assembly opted to reduce the SEVTC's size and improve its infrastructure, end quote. Now, I believe this is a direct quote from the communications director at DBHDS. So let's assume that this declarative statement is true. Then why did the legislature not consider building adequate community homes to address this lack of high-level community support? The math speaks for itself. 18 community homes will handle 1/2 of the current persons at SEVTC at 1/3 of the total cost to rebuild. If we continue at this rate, you could serve 225 persons and have 54 community homes and still have $8 million left over. I strongly urge you to reconsider the egregious expenditure of public funds for the rebuild of SEVTC. Put the money instead into community homes. The return on your investment will be formidable. Now let me close by offering a challenging proposal. I understand that SEVTC made an invite to Governor McDonnell to come and visit the center to, quote, see the needs of our most vulnerable citizens, end quote. Now that request was made on 18th February of this year. Let me pose to you and your colleagues another challenge. I would invite you to take up SEVTC's request and have the courage to accompany the governor. I promise to come along as well. Our visit, however, will not be a dog and pony show. Instead, it will be a visit that starts on Friday afternoon and would end on Monday morning, with the caveat: no Blackberries, no laptops, no netbooks, no iPhones, and no smartphones. In my considered opinion, the experience you will gain by living for a very short time in the disability world will illuminate and enrich your horizons beyond anything imaginable. The sights, sounds, and smells will truly help you all formulate an opinion towards the validity of rebuilding SEVTC. Thank you.